everybody. Welcome once again to the Adventures Travel Club television show. Betty is on the bus greeting everybody because we're on our way to...
We're on our way to the Grand Canyon
Right.
but way of Las Vegas first.
Las Vegas, and we're going to Prescott, and we're going to all sorts of good places,
All sorts
right?
of good places.
Yeah.
But this is where we're starting out from. And look at, oh my goodness, look at that. Rico's already
taking a little
resting.
nap already, right?
Of course, that's a nice thing, really,
Sure
about
it is.
being on a bus. And to see how smart she was, she brought the little thing for her neck.
I think that's
and
a great idea.
I recommend that for people to
Sure.
do that. Or else, bring a small pillow,
For your
especially if
back.
they have a husband that they can put it right up next to his shoulder, and then you can sleep a little bit. Or even if you have a roommate, it'd be fine too,
It's okay to snooze on someone's shoulder?
Oh, sure.
Oh, well, that's okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah,
good. But
I
I'll tell you
think
what,
so.
once you get to Las Vegas, you're not going to do very much snoozing.
No, but
And,
it's on the way, because that's
yeah.
a long ride.
Yeah, it is. But we stop.
Oh, we always have to. Always make the regulation
The
stops,
regular stops,
Yeah,
right.
and when you have those stretches, miles and miles, of desert type property or land,
Yeah.
and then you come to something like this, and you think,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's a mirage. By the way, that's the name of the hotel. One of them there,
That's
isn't
right,
the
it is.
Mirage.
Yeah, a very fancy one, as a matter of fact. Another fancy one, the Bellagio. Wow, look at these signs. I can look at the Bellagio's got 2 signs out there. Can you imagine what those would just the cost alone?
Oh, they can afford it.
Well, I guess they can.
But I guess maybe.
Put enough quarters in
But
their
you know
machine.
what? They might not have an energy problem there. Maybe they're
Where?
in.
Well, they're so close
Nevada.
to
the dam.
Boulder Dam that
Yeah, so
they get a lot of. They've just
so-
probably put a few more quarters in the dam.
Okay. Well,
Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Anyway,
care
there's so
either.
much to see always in Las Vegas, and of
There's
course Las
the
Vegas
Eiffel
keeps
Tower.
changing. Oh, listen, we have a birthday.
Yeah. Hi, Virginia. It was fun. It's the first time they've been with us, and we enjoyed them very much. They do bus travel, though.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Well, we not only had one birthday, but we had 2 birthdays on the bus, right, Betty?
Yeah, this was a good group, and we all participated. And it's always fun when you get into with the crowds like that, you know.
And it's great. It always reminds me of going on a cruise, and everybody has a birthday around your table.
Oh, well, you do because
during
you get
that 7 days.
You know why? You get a cake. They bring you a cake with candles, so that's something extra free that you get. So that's why.
Well, we also went to downtown Las Vegas, and downtown on Fremont Street. You're just seeing the tail end of one of the shows, which they do, I think, on the top of every hour. We're going to come back and visit a little bit more of it. But this is, Betty, had you ever seen this before?
Never. And unfortunately, it doesn't show quite as spectacularly on screen as
Not
it
unless
does.
you've got a huge television
That's
set.
right,
Yeah.
and because you don't have the noise, the real, the banging and the loud.
Well, it's because you can see right there, if you look up there on the right-hand side, you can see some of the speakers. I mean, there's speakers all over. What we should explain is it's like a great big screen, but it's not. It's all lights that has been constructed over Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas. And, of course, the casinos and everything down there wanted to draw a lot of people away from the Strip, I suspect. So they built this a few years ago. And, Betty, I've seen this a few times, and every time I go, there's a different show that they do on that, and it's spectacular.
It is spectacular. Well, I had never seen it before, and our hotel was right on this street. So if you got tired, you could go on back up to your room, and it wasn't that noisy. It was okay.
I thought it was exciting because I'd never stayed downtown before, but I really liked it. It was the pace was a little bit slower. There's a lot of street vendors that are have little booths and things out on the street, and of course there's still lots and lots of neon signs there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, everywhere you look. Wow.
To attract, and it does attract you.
Sure, it does.
When I guess that's how we picked a place to eat, wasn't it? We went with the Pedros, and we
Yeah,
had
right.
a really nice dinner.
Oh, it was great.
This was, to me, I like the excitement of this. I get bored when it gets too quiet and stuff, so I like the noise and the.
It was fun.
Up to a point.
And the thing is that Betty says you don't get the real experience of this unless you're standing there, and it's true because it's like a whole block long. I want to call it like a screen, but it's I don't know what the construction is, but anyway, what's the construction that they put over the whole street there, and then they have wonderful speakers. Oh
there.
my God!
Now you get an idea of nothing.
Right.
That's just the.
They're just lit up.
It's
They're just
the
lit up. They're
ceiling.
just starting right now.
And from building to building, right
Right.
across the whole street.
Right.
And then, boom, it takes
All
off.
of a sudden it does.
Yeah.
And there are huge, big speakers everywhere. So you can really just feel the sound. But we wanted to show you a little bit of it here on the air today, so that you got a little bit of a feeling of it. But and probably a lot of you have been over there to Las Vegas to experience this, and you notice too that they do change the shows from time to time. And it's all done by a computer, but I would imagine that it's one heck of a job to do that. But I think the guy that's got the biggest job is the one that has to go up there and change the light bulbs.
Oh, I guess so.
You know,
I guess there
because
are so
each
many,
one of those are a light up there, and how do they get the different colors in them? I don't know.
They use that light bulb joke so much for so many different ethnic groups, don't they?
Right. Yeah. So how many gamblers does it take then to change
To
a light
change
bulb?
the light bulb. But now this looks like an advertisement. We're not advertising for you to go there. We're just showing you how really
it's
spectacular
It is
the
spectacular.
show
It is something that's
itself
totally
is.
different. This is something that you're not going to see every day. But
No, only night.
only night. That's true. Yeah. I guess you are right. I guess it wouldn't be in the daytime, would it?
You couldn't do it in the
No,
daytime.
you couldn't do it in the daytime. But it's just great because it does change all the time, as I say, the various programs that they have. And I really enjoyed doing that. The only thing is you kind of get a little stiff neck
You
looking
would get
up
a
all
stiff
that
neck.
time.
But I think that, see, one of the things that makes it so spectacular is the noise, the music.
The
and
music, too? Oh,
and
sure,
The
yeah.
crescendo, to make it so dramatic.
Right.
So, but it was neat. It was neat. But I was ready to go to bed after this. I was tired.
Well, you'd had a long day.
I had a long day.
You had a long
Yes,
day,
yes.
and you come across a lot of desert. But this is really kind of a wonderful thing to see.
I don't
And
think I stayed for all of it.
a lot of people miss this because they get down on the Strip and they don't get down to downtown Las Vegas. But I have to say, there are a lot of places that have been redone and a lot of new places in the downtown area. And so if you haven't been there, it's worth the drive. But I would suggest that you don't take a taxi because the taxis are a little bit expensive.
Oh my gosh, weren't they? But they do have public.
They have public transportation
yeah,
around,
yeah.
And a person should take advantage
But anyway,
of that too.
we all have our own bus.
We had our own bus, so that was not a
And
problem.
next year, when we go to Grand Canyon, we're going to repeat
Uh-huh.
that one. So we will spend a little more time, and
Right.
then we'll probably go on down to the Strip.
Oh, yeah.
On
I
our
think so
bus.
too. Sure, on the bus, right.
Yes.
Now, we've gone a little further south here in Nevada, and there's another town that has a lot of gambling. Remember, Betty?
Do I remember? We stayed in the wonderful hotel.
Right.
Oh.
Not on this trip, but on
Oh, we're
another
not
one.
on this one?
No, this was
Where did we stay?
this was in Laughlin. And,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I was thinking Mesquite. That's on the way home.
Oh,
now, huh?
yeah, that's right.
That sounds
But
about-
anyway, we're going to cross the river here, which again crosses the state line because we're going to get
What's
into
the river,
Arizona.
Marv?
Pardon me?
What's the name of the river?
That's part of the Colorado, I believe.
Okay.
I
thank
think
you.
it is anyway.
Okay.
At least the water is from the Colorado River.
right.
This is the one that everybody fights over, Southern California,
Oh, yes,
Nevada, California, Mexico. Of course, by the time it gets down to Mexico, there's kind of just like a little drip down there.
Oh, I
There's
wouldn't
not
have
very
known
much
it went down
water
that
at all.
far. It does go down to Mexico.
Yeah, well, down I think in some of the
peters out,
valleys,
is that-
it just really does. Yeah. So anyway, but it is quite beautiful. I was really surprised at the color of the water right here. Usually, you look at some of the Colorado River like you see in the canyon, at the Grand Canyon. Of course, it's all muddy looking.
Well, now I took a little boat ride. Not at this trip, when we were here at Laughlin before.
Uh-huh.
We spent the night, and I got on the little boat and went on the river, and it was beautiful. It was really nice.
Oh, it can be.
Excuse me.
I was going to say that there's so much to see as you go out into this area. Some people say, "Oh, there's nothing but desert." Well, this is beautiful, and some
Yeah.
people just absolutely love the desert. But now you kind of call this too. But look at all the trees that are here.
Now, some of it's great. Some of it's great, but then after a while, that's when you use your little
That's when you
pillow,
wanna take a little
you
nap.
take a little nap. And
Okay, we have come to Prescott, right?
That's
And
right. I
yes.
love Prescott. Prescott
And-
was fun.
Right, and this is Montezuma Street. This is one of the old streets, probably the old street. And this was established, Arizona was a territory when all of this happened because a lot of gold was discovered in various areas around Arizona. In fact, there are literally thousands of old abandoned mine sites in Arizona right now. And there was a lot of gold taken out, a lot of silver, a lot of other ore as well, tungsten and some other minerals that were taken out, and some of them are still working, not very big. There also there were some copper mines as well too.
Well, you won't believe this, but I found out that there were 500 buildings registered in the National Historical Places Registry. Not 500. Here, they're in Prescott.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it says, well, the little thing I read about it was that Prescott is home to ranchers, cowboys, politicians, and prospectors. Take your choice.
Take your
Take your choice.
Well, I know there's the courthouse right there, and the beautiful sculpture in front of it, as we can see here too. I was impressed with this because it was right out in the center here of the town. Had just had grown around this. The county seat was founded in 1864 on Caronite Creek, and this was a source of the placer gold. That was named for William Hickling Prescott, who was a historian, and the first governor, Goodwin, was appointed by Abraham Lincoln. Can you believe that?
Wow,
It was
I'm
established
impressed.
as the first territorial capital of Arizona here at the governor's mansion. And a lot of this was destroyed by a miner's candle. A fire just burned down about 4 blocks of it. So that was about 1900 when all that happened.
Now, this is what I find so interesting.
What's that?
The holes in the rocks.
You mean the caves
The
up there?
caves, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I think when you realize, we saw this modern stuff when
Yeah.
we were there. And then you come into where it all started.
Well, this is called Montezuma's Castle, but as we were reading right there and as we were told to, didn't have anything to do with Montezuma. It was how these legends sort of come about, and Montezuma's people evidently never even probably reached this far. But anyway, there were a lot of cave dwellings, or there are, I should say, in various parts of the Southwest. And this, of course, was one of the famous ones, again called Montezuma's Castle, as we can see right here. But, as you look at this, I think that was covered with something. I mean, the Indians must have used something like some sort of adobe or something.
They all went out and got plastered. Not very nice.
No, that's not. And
that
you're
was
just joking.
nice.
I know,
I
but
was just joking
but anyway, these rocks seem to be very, very porous. So I guess that they had to plaster it or cover it with something to keep it from
I
probably
wonder if that
melting
could
away.
be some kind of adobe.
That's
that
the original bricks were probably
Yeah,
made
so
of
maybe
adobe,
that's
if
how
were.
they made the mud out of the
I would suspect so. Yeah. Anyway, we're quite a distance. You can't climb up there. You can't get up to it. So we're shooting on a telephoto lens, as you can see right here, and it would have been very, very interesting had we had the opportunity to do that. But I'm glad we don't have, because millions of tourists would have already trampled the thing, into fine powder by now.
It was amazing all the different apartments that they had in this so-called castle. And they had upstairs and downstairs and
lots of
basements
downstairs,
and
is right.
Yeah.
And we can see here there are some other caves that were down below. And this beautiful river, of course, which ran right through this area. So the Indians picked a very beautiful place. Now here is sort of what we think that it might have looked like inside.
It was a great depiction, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it were very realistic.
Yeah, I think so. It's sort of a cutaway thing so that you can see. They had a beautiful visitor center right here, too, and they had several books, maps, and all sorts of wonderful things that you could really kind of bone up on that if you really wanted to and take a real good look at it.
I think we saw eagles or something.
There was
big
one
flying,
of it. Well, I think actually it was probably a vulture.
Was it? Oh, okay.
That was way in the thing. Now we're going to stop. This was a wonderful time. We went to the Blazing M Ranch, and we got there I guess it's probably around 5 o'clock or a little bit later. And this place was like an old Western town. I enjoyed myself.
It
here,
was
didn't
such
you?
fun. And I wasn't too sure about it when we put it down on the agenda, and I thought, I don't know, And when we first got there, it looked kind of quiet, and
Yeah,
I
that's
thought,
right.
oh my gosh, did we make a mistake? And we had fun.
We stayed till the very end,
Yeah.
and they have a wonderful place here. There's all sorts of things to see and all sorts of things to do before the dinner is served. And now, if you want to have a public hanging there, you could. And later on, have a wedding, of course. But they hold it both on the same platform. And this guy was giving a little tour in his little, I guess you would call that sort of a train type of thing around. I love that. Unattended children will be towed away at their
This
their
this
parents'
was kind of
expense.
like here in the Gold Rush days too, where you
Yeah.
know that with all the facades of the buildings there, and
It was fun. They really had a lot of fun things there, and you could take your
Patricia.
picture in jail, that type of thing. Hey, here we go.
now let's see how good Tony does.
All right,
Let's see.
up.
No,
missed
missed it again, and we didn't give you another chance, Tony.
No,
That's
that
too
was
bad.
it.
That wasn't fair,
that was
it?
too bad.
Yeah.
But the young guy was there to help everybody out and give them some pointers anyway. But several people tried that. Inside of one of the buildings, they had. Betty, I love this because these were all hand carved. They were little scenes, and some of them were animated, quite a bit. And I got a shot of just a few of them, but there were a whole bunch of them there. Love this, the Keystone Cops.
Keystone Cops.
Yeah, a real bit of Americana right here, I'll tell you. So much of the things that they had, it was very well done. It was
Now,
really
this
great.
was not inexpensive, but this was part of the tour. We picked up the
Yeah.
check for that, and it
Right,
was
right.
worth every penny, every dollar of it.
It sure was. And here we can see, what was this, Huckleberry Finn or
I don't think so. Tom Sawyer there?
Tom Sawyer?
Tom
Yeah.
Sawyer and
Somebody
Huckleberry?
conned the guys into painting the fence, right?
That's right.
How'd you like this for your doctor? Smoking an old
especially
stogie?
smoking the cigar, huh? Oh, my word.
Sawbones, that's what
Yeah.
they call them there. These sawbones. And a really good-looking nurse right there, too. And the fiddler in the corner. I don't know. This was pretty. I thought this was really nice because it seemed to be right out of Walt Disney. Geppetto and Pinocchio. And they had different scenes here from all sorts of
Well,
things.
you
And I thought, and look at there, Jiminy Cricket, too.
You could spend a lot of time here, and each one can go and spend the time at that particular
Mm-hmm.
place that they like. And I think that's the nice thing.
It
You're
is.
not herded
No,
around.
That's right. You're at your own leisure, and you can. And the people here that were the curators, they were just so wonderful. They were, of course, I imagine that they have tourists there most every night, or maybe not every night, because they put on a big show here too, which we really enjoyed, and we're going to show you a little bit of that in just a moment. But we're waiting right now for the dinner bell to ring because all of us are really hungry, and they served a wonderful dinner, as
There
we
it
can see
is.
right here.
It was good.
It was wonderful, and you could go back for as much as you wanted to. That's what I like. It was just great. I had a great time eating here. It was just really wonderful. And they would come around and offer you more, whether you wanted the fresh biscuits or something to drink, or the beans, or
You
more
probably
meat.
liked this. The best part of the trip was the food.
Yeah,
'Cause
no
you
kidding.
you enjoy it so much.
There was
which is
nothing
really
wrong with
great.
it. Someone's going back for
That's it.
seconds.
Oh, Bob.
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you, it was just really wonderful. I think
And I wonder what
liked
Roland
that
just
very
said
bit.
to
Yeah.
you.
Well, listen, we're going to join now a little bit of the entertainment. This is just a little sample of what they gave us that evening.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you all. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for coming to play today.
I was like a clown.
I wanna drink my candle from Norton King while the moon goes climbing high. I wanna hear the song of the whippoorwill. I wanna hear those coyotes cry. I wanna feel the saddle horse between my legs, ride me down on the range, just to kick it in the side, make him show step and pride, back on those Texas plains. I wanna hear the thunder roll. I wanna hear the rain in my face. 1,000 miles from those city months, blowing a cowboy.
I wanna sleep at night beneath the stars above, with the pale moon shining down. I wanna cook my bacon over cactus coals, 50 miles from town. I wanna drink my jam from an old tin can while the moon goes climbing high. I wanna hear the song of the whippoorwill. I wanna hear those coyotes cry. I wanna feel the saddle horse between my legs, ride me out on the range, just to kick 'em in the side, make 'em show step and pride. Back on those Texas plains, back on those Texas plains.
And here it is.
Wait a minute, hold on just a second.
What?
What do you care if there are any single women here tonight?
Yeah.
You're married, aren't you?
Oh, no, sir. I got me one of them there divorces. I'll tell you what, it was awful, too. It'd be easier to go out here on the street, find you one of them women you just can't stand, buy her a trailer. Yeah, you know what, though? She got the trailer, but I got the stock, and I got the good ones, too. I got Enron, WorldCom, KR. I showed her, I'll tell you something else. It was so bad, though, that divorce, I had to hire myself a psychologist. Yeah, I was having these dreams. I had this one dream where I'm riding my horse along. I come up beside this here stagecoach. I jump in the stagecoach, go through the other side, jump on my horse, and ride away. Go figure. Yeah.
Boy, well, that was some kind of a dream.
It was.
Well, what did your psychoanalyst say he thought that meant?
He thought it was just a stage I was going through. I tell you, yeah. But he says, it's okay, I can go out and find myself a new lady. Just make sure she's just like my own self.
Oh, that's spooky.
Only she needs to smell a little better.
Yeah.
And I understood this lady's just like Otis, and she smells really good. Yeah.
Mess up our pretty two-room. I'll fix his wagon. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Bang!
Well, ow.
Wait a minute. How did you do that?
Bank shot. Dance me up so easier and for just one thing more than water. He likes to rest right there for water. Then can you see that picture where the
Well, that was a lot of fun. We had a great time that night, I'll tell you. So we're going on now to Sedona, and we're going to come back here to this little chapel that you see right here. We just went up to take a look at it, and then we're going to go back into Sedona. We'll come back after a little bit. But this area where we parked the bus, there were also places to eat here. There were a lot of shops, and there was a very, very interesting I want to say groups of things, but there's a beautiful hotel that's right here as well. And I didn't know that all of this even existed. And then we went to downtown too and did a little shopping there.
Yes.
But Betty, you and I got on this little trolley
Yeah.
because we wanted to go back and take a look at the
Church.
chapel up there.
Yeah. And this is, Sedona's my favorite, my very, very favorite. The air is so clear and you can breathe so wonderfully. It says Sedona was one of the natural wonders on North America. They've made many, many movies here, you know.
Yes, that's right.
It's a very famous place for movies. It has an art colony, and actually 75 movies at last count were made there. So it's fabulous. You cannot
is.
get up there by a car. Do you remember we had to?
Yeah, you
use
have to
the little-
park and then walk up the thing, and it's good that they've arranged it that way. You can look out here, you know, from the chapel, and look out into the beautiful,
yes,
beautiful area,
just beautiful.
which is sort of south, southeast, and southwest of Sedona, and it's great. Now, Betty, you had mentioned before that there were like energy fields out here, right? Where some people go and
Yeah.
feel that they get a real surge of some sort of
You get
energy.
revitalized, I guess. But we never could. Well, we didn't really have time either. But I was thinking about it seriously, and then I thought, no, my people have enough pep already. I don't want to energize them anymore. So we won't go looking for it. But you know, this is a chapel. Actually, it's a Catholic chapel. Belongs to the parish of Saint Vianney, Saint John Vianney. Yeah, and so it was. The history of the building of it was really, really good, and they had to stop there for a while for lack of money. But I forget really the best part of it about who gave the money. I mean, somebody
did,
gave
thank
the money
goodness.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, from there we went on to the Grand Canyon. As you can see right here, we have a few shots of it, and this is marvelous. You know, I've had a chance since we've been there to fly over the Grand Canyon a couple of times, and from the air, it's even more spectacular, I think, than on the ground. But anyway, you look at it, it's just really great. Betty, that's all the time that we have, but you've got a lot of trips coming up, so if people are interested, they better give you a call, huh?
Yeah, I'm at 559-488-7443.
And we have some more bus trips that are coming up, and we also have a trip to Europe that's coming up a little bit later on, too. So give Betty a call so she can give you all the information. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.